Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines 2. In today's episode, we're going to be going over something that people have been asking about a lot, and that's going to be how to get your city to the point that it's making $100,000 an hour or more. So I have went through and I built this city and everything, and we've been working through to get as many high-rise buildings and such, and go through and develop this city to the point that it's working great. Now, we do still have some issues in the city, but the city overall is running good. It just needs some things flawed out. So this is pretty much going to be my city now, where I'm going to do tests and everything. We're going to start another city, and we're going to do videos where I run you guys through with a lot more editing, so it's not like hour-long videos, and it's going to show you this is what to do, this is what I don't do, this is how I get from level 1 to level 7 without going bankrupt and having to take a loan, and how I make it so that my town starts becoming profitable. That way my city, once it's huge, is really profitable. But today in the video, I'm going to break down the things that make this city profitable and what I did through the steps to go ahead and get it to the point where it's at. And then in the other series that I'm about to be starting, that should be coming out tomorrow or so, it's going to pretty much be the breakdown of showing you step by step with a lot more editing, so it's like less than 30-minute videos, so you can follow along and see like, oh, I gridded this out here, and this is how I'm placing things, this is how I'm going to set up the city to make sure that things run properly and we're not overspending on stuff that we don't need to overspend on. So right now, the city is pretty much doing very, very well. There's some buildings that are going through some issues here, but the city is doing very well, and we have great coverage for a lot of the stuff. I know that this isn't going well, but people really aren't complaining about it, and that's because we have trucks that are coming on the highways and picking up garbages from people and things of the sort. And the only thing that people were really upset about is the high noise pollution, and I've done a lot to go ahead and try to reduce that as much as possible, and that's pretty much the best way that I could get it to. But we have good education for like the elementary schools. We got it in a lot of places, but we don't want everybody to be too educated, because then in that point you're going to have issues with people getting jobs over here in the industrial area. We also got great fire coverage, except for over here because we're not using this area right now. We got great police coverage pretty much across the entire map. Again, except for up in here because that's where we're not using. We got great coverage on the buses and taxis. And we also have parks pretty much throughout the entire city of where everybody is living. And we have great hospital coverage for everybody and death coverage. We got death coverage going. The crematorium, we just need to build probably another one. But the cemetery availability is very high, so this should be doing a balancing act right now. We have way more water than we need. Sewage treatment is getting to the point that we're exporting, but this is cheaper than me adding on something else, so I'm not really worried about it. And electricity, we go ahead and export a ton of electricity. So everything's running great, but how did I get to this point? Well, one of the biggest things is when you're coming through on these milestones from tiny village up to where I'm at right now, which is huge city, and I'm going to try to finish this one out and get it to Megapolis and just see how it does. And then we're going to make another city where I'm going to be a little bit more intricate. We're going to do more design processes on roads and stuff. We're not going to grid everything out like how this one's gridded out, because this one's pretty much like iron grid with some neighborhoods into it and stuff. But we got another one where we're doing it completely differently, and there's going to be a lot more things in it that are just more unique, and roads that just like looks like it was actually built not on a game, but like an actual city. So as you're pumping through on these, though, I really don't get anything until about busy town, where you're going to start making money. So if you're in this stage right here and you're trying to make money, you're going to want to go ahead and watch the other series, because it's going to break down the route that you're going to want to go. But once you're in busy town, you're going to be going to be getting to the point where you could do a few things. So if you go into your development tree and you go over to here, there's a few ways that you can go about this. On this route, I went the gas power plant and the geothermal. On the next route that I'm doing the coal power plant, because this is actually slightly cheaper than this, and it's making more electricity per month. So it actually is very much beneficial when you're exporting power. And to export power, all you have to do is go into here, run these lines from whatever you're producing electricity from under the ground to these lines that leave the city and go out. So if you have deleted these to the point that they're off your grid and you can't connect to it, you're gonna have to buy that square and just go over to it and stuff, because that will allow you to go ahead and export electricity. We're also exporting water, so we have a ton of this stuff here, and we just ran the line straight to the edge and it exports it. So just from those two pieces right there, if we go into services, we're making 145,000-ish on electricity. And water, we are losing money because it's costing us so much to maintain these things, but it's pretty much a balancing act that we're playing here. If you do jump this stuff up though to 112 and 106, I've seen that this is a great spot to be at, and it actually helps out, and that's what we're at on the electricity. So 112 and 106 is great. The next thing that you're going to want to follow through with is, in the beginning, you're going to keep the industrial taxes low, and you're going to get a good bit of it, and even get your specialized places and stuff in. So that way these guys are going to make you some money as well. If you got enough of these guys and you make sure that they're the larger buildings, don't let them build nothing but small ones. So don't let them build a ton of these, and don't let them build a ton of like the 2x2 squares and stuff like that. So if you go through and you just make sure it's all these larger like 4x2, 4x3s or 4x4s and stuff like that that they're building on, it'll do you better. Like this guy isn't going to be making us a ton of money, but this guy will be on taxes. So once we get a ton of them in, and we don't want to keep putting a ton of industrial down, even though that this demand is gigantic for some reason. If we go into the taxation, we raise it up to 16%. We got almost $8 million a month coming in from just the industrial. So the quicker that you can build your industrial section, the quicker that you can get the tax money out of them. Another thing that you're going to want to go ahead and do, and it's just going to increase your services, that way they're a little bit more efficient, is go into the taxation for the residential, and you're going to see that this is variable for me. Uneducated people are going to get taxed more. The reason for it, I want people to be educated. So by taxing uneducated people, it either forces them to leave, or they're more likely to go ahead and get well educated, because well educated and highly educated, you save 4% on taxes. People are going to go ahead and push towards being one of these two. Now you're going to see them when you come into your services and such as the hospital. The efficiency on this is 119%. The only thing that's affecting it is the service budget. So if we were to go ahead and go into the service budget where we're at, we got minus 10%. So if we were to raise this back up the whole way, so that takes out about $150,000 of our budget per month. We're going to go over here, we're going to lose $150,000 off of that. It's not going to really make that big of a difference, but it's going to then perform at 132% efficiency, because the hospital efficiency is so high and the employee happiness is so high. So like whenever you start doing the things to get people more well educated, they'll want to go ahead and make things more efficient, such as even over here. These things are more efficient. Water fee and electric fee is minus 2%, but the efficiency is great because these people are so highly sought after for good workers and things. So another big thing is make sure that you keep your abandoned buildings torn down and stuff, because if you have a ton of abandoned buildings, it lowers the land value, and it'll actually lower the amount that people have to pay in taxes. So if you have a ton of abandoned buildings, make sure to keep after them. Another thing that we're going to be looking at here is the production tab. So you do have your materials and stuff, which you can worry about this and make this. This is the big thing here that I will worry about, which will be the oil drilling or the ore. You can go ahead and work on these. These will make you money. Any way that you can go ahead and get this stuff brought in on trucks and stuff, this will go ahead and show you like what your industrial buildings are actually producing. So we have a ton of furniture that we're producing and stuff like that. We have a ton of machinery that we're producing. We have a ton of metals. We have a ton of steel. Like, this is stuff that our industrial sector is producing. So that'll make you some money, but a big thing that they're going to make money on is taxation. So it doesn't matter if this tab right here is showing a ton of deficits, because in all reality you're making your money off the industrial by going ahead and taxing them. Now you will see at the bottom here that the offices are at 6%. You may wonder why they're at 6%. Well, the more offices that you can get into here, the more immaterial goods that you can go ahead and surplus out. So we have a surplus in every single thing that we have here. So the top 4 are going to be your services from your office buildings. So you'll be able to go ahead and export these things, and it'll actually gain you money and stuff. And then this stuff over here, like lodging, meals, entertainment, and recreation, that's all your retail, your blue. So the more commercial buildings and stuff that you have, the more that this will produce, the less people will have to go ahead and leave, because the retail goes to the lodging, goes to the consumer, and it just makes you some money in the long run because they're willing to pay more taxes, property value goes up, things of the sort. So it pretty much breaks down into this huge section here. Subsidies, you got 0, but your service upkeeps are $7.3 million at this point whenever you're at where I'm at. And a lot of that's coming from police and administration and healthcare. It's always going to be that high. Communications is always going to be high, and garbage maintenance is always going to be high because we're constantly exporting stuff. But these are the areas that are going to cost you a ton of money. You're never going to be able to fix them, especially with healthcare. It never makes money whatsoever. It never makes money. It's always going to just cost you a ton of money. So it's something that you just can't worry about. You just got to deal with. But the big thing that you're going to see is that taxes are a huge chunk of this. So as you're building your city and stuff, the more houses that you can get in, the better. Now, don't make it just any random normal house. Don't make it just something that's going to be something small like this, or maybe something even smaller like just a small 2x2 square house, which I could probably find one up over in here somewhere. These guys are super small. They're not going to make like any money on your taxes and stuff. You want these larger houses to be built. So like this guy here, he is a 4x6 square. Even if you do 3x6 or 4x6, these guys are the ones that make you a ton of money. So that's something that you just want to watch out for whenever you're gridding. You can always have smaller houses, but the larger amount of large houses that you have, the better. So this is a great thing to like look out for. It's like, hey, how many of these 2x6 houses do we have? How many 3x6 houses do we have? Like, that's the best way. 2x6s, I believe, are right in the middle ground where it's going to make you your best buck for the amount of area that you use. So that's going to be somewhere that you're going to want to keep around and everything of the sort. So those are pretty much the basic steps and ways that you're going to go ahead and try towards making money. There's going to be a few things that just people don't really look out for or don't see, and it's going to take into account a big thing here of specialized buildings that you're going to have to put down. So places like the medical university and City Hall and the Central Bank, like these 3 right here, they make a huge difference. This actually improves the efficiency of the hospital. So 10% plus efficiency citywide, 25% Recovery failures, that goes down 25% citywide for the medical university. For City Hall, import costs are -2%. Loan interest is -1%. You really don't need that stuff, but you can use it. So like if you were to go ahead and add on like City Court, the crime rate goes down across the city. Building leveling costs citywide goes up even more, so like city planning and stuff. So if you were to go ahead and add this on, it makes a huge difference if you go ahead and do that stuff. So $40,000 and $55,000 a month upkeep. Now we got this stuff here. Now the central bank is lowering interest 2%, import costs 5%, export profits go up 5%. So these buildings here, these specialized buildings that you're going to get into the tabs, like if you go here, there's this research tab. That's where the Geological Research Center, we have that. So that's going to be something that's going to pretty much look at things and say, oh, this is a specialized place. If we go over into education, like the medical university and the technical university, like technical university, 10% office efficiency and 10% industrial efficiency. These are buildings that make a huge difference. If you go over into here to administration, you got the welfare office, you got the city hall, and you got the central bank. Welfare office helps people that are less fortunate just make ends meet and things of the sort, so they're still able to pay the taxes, not losing jobs and leaving and stuff. So that's a thing to keep after as well. Parks make a huge difference for happiness. People are willing to pay more money in taxes because the land value has gone up, so that's another thing to look after. Post office sorting, I'm really confused here. I have this shut down, so I might have to delete it entirely, but I just went ahead and checked to see if I went ahead and did this and had the cargo terminal on, if it would go ahead and destroy it. It didn't really destroy the amount of mail that we were having coming through. It dropped it just right below, but like 430 and stuff like that. It's just the way that things are going, and I'm guessing that that's just a big bug that needs fixed, so hopefully they take care of it. Telecoms, as long as you have good communication and stuff on the telecoms, you'll be pretty good. People won't really complain, such as if you set one of these just right in here, they might actually enjoy that being right there. But keeping everybody well connected to the outside world also increases land value, but it also allows you to export like the office types goods and stuff like that, such as like media and things of the sort. So if you go in production, you got immaterial goods, like you got like software and telecom and stuff like that. Like this stuff does very good for exporting and making you some money as well. So that's pretty much the way that you got to go about it whenever you get into everything. So like this is a huge thing here, is exporting electricity. Like I said, whenever I came in, this time I went with gas power and geothermal. On the other city that we're going to be building that you guys will see, like I said, if you want to check that out, it will help you do the run through to show you how everything gets broken down. It'll be like 30-minute or less episodes. It'll show you the main parts and everything. It'll show you what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. It'll show you the layout of the city, where I put things, just to show you like the best way to organize your city to make it cost effective and to make it like very much work towards making a profit in the beginning. So the coal power plant works really good too, but I did these two, plus I did the incineration plant, which was over here, so I had the incinerator. So like the geothermal plant is producing 191 megawatts. The usage is 85%. So it might use like more groundwater or something it might need. This over here is usage of 100%, and it got 76 megawatts that it's doing. And then this over here is 325 megawatts at 100%. So like that's a big chunk of what we have going on. Add those all up together and you get this right here, which is the 380 megawatts of exports that we're having outside, which makes good money. Electricity is going to be one of your first steps into making money, and you'll see that in the other series if you go ahead and watch it. So it's just certain things to look out for. Like in the beginning, you're not going to want to go ahead and be like, oh, I'm going to put this here and see how it does, and then put this here and see how it does, and then put this here and just watch things. No, you'll want to build as quickly as possible, because the quicker that you can level up to that level 7, that's when you're going to have that standing ground to go ahead and say, hey, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do, and you'll get to the point where you're making money. So all this stuff accumulated into one point, which you might be able to see better explained in the other videos that are going to be coming out, is the reason why this city with only 77,000 people is making me over $110,000 an hour. And I even upgraded some stuff to go ahead and work at higher abilities and everything. So it's making $115,000 an hour. The city's very well organized. So if you guys are looking to see more things that you might have questions about, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. It helps you stay up to date, and hit the bell. That way you know when videos are coming out on things that you may have even requested to see. So I'm going to be doing some tests with the post office and the airport to see how those things are working. I'm going to do a test to see like which is going to be the best route to go ahead with electricity, to go ahead and export it to make the most amount of money with the least amount of cost. And we'll run through sort of things like that to pretty much get your city organized. I'll even go through and show how to produce like the highway that we have here with the quay walls. We'll go ahead and get that all situated and shown to you guys in videos. That way you know what to do. That way it makes either your city more aesthetically pleasing, or it makes it produce more money in the long run. So if you guys haven't checked out any of the other videos, don't forget to go ahead and check out the channel. You'll see like how to lower the low density residential demand. So we went through that to show and everything, and currently like I'm pushing back to go ahead and make this low density over here. So we'll get that all situated, and it'll pretty much show you guys like step by step, like, hey, these are things that I've seen to do, these are things that I've seen not to do. So I hope you guys enjoy all the videos that I'm pushing out. Like I said, if you guys want to see anything, just let me know in the comment section down below. I appreciate all your guys' time and support, and thank you for watching the whole entire video if you got to this point. So as always, I appreciate it, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next episode, where we'll probably be on a different map, making a different city. But I'm going to keep trying things out on this to see how things go, and hopefully if I see anything new that I can give you guys information on, you guys will be the first to know. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for watching. I've been ChasetotheFinish. I'm out. Peace.